Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? It's your boy Isaac,
And this is your boy Bryce.
and we are brothers on tennis. And folks, we are coming down to the last few tournaments of 2022. And man, Bryce, we had Billie Jean King Cup. We got all these, cups, Next Gen Cup, All American Cup, and the ATP Finals Cup. I mean, just cups all over the place, Bryce. How have you been dealing and/or enjoying the tennis that we have been seeing these last couple weeks here, my man?
I'm tired, man. This tennis season long. This tennis season real long. I don't even see how the players do it because I'm tired of talking about it.
Right? I mean, come on. I mean, good Lord. There is a lot of tennis still going on in November. Oh,
I
my goodness.
know. We started in January.
But
But
that's the thing about tennis, man. It keeps going.
it keeps it going. But no, you know what though? I must say, I do enjoy the all of the team events.
Yes.
So it seems like they're adding more and more because I think the players actually enjoy them as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we've got this, what is it, the United Cup that's going to be in Australia this year. That's
right.
kind of the true replacement of the Hopman Cup.
That's
It has
right.
both the men and the women. And like you just named, we had, the Billie Jean King Cup and the All American Cup. And, soon Lil John will come out with the Crunk Cup, and
Right. I love it, man. Exactly, man. There's cups all over. Cups for everybody, y'all. Cups for everybody.
Exactly. So let's see, where do we want to start this week off with? Do we start with because we have also, did we talk next gen last week or the last time we talked?
We did not. So maybe that's what we do. Yeah.
There you go.
Let's start with next gen, then we can talk about our ladies and the Billie Jean King Cup, and then we can jump to the fellas All American Cup as well as the ATP Finals.
That sounds good.
I like it. So yeah, Bryce, what were your thoughts as it relates to the next gen?
Well, it was interesting because I think you and I talked about this, offline. There were a couple of people there in the next gen. I hadn't even heard of them before.
Yeah, it doesn't it always seem to be the case where there's like two or three and you're like, where them names come from?
Right. I mean, I think a couple of names I had seen, once or twice, but the big people for me, of course, were Nakashima,
Yes.
and you had Runa there, and it just, what was amazing is you have to be 21 or younger.
Correct.
So I mean, you didn't have Alcaraz there,
Well, he won last year, so he was like, I'm good. I'm number one in the world. I'm out.
Right. Right. But you had three people in the top 10 or 11 that could have by age played, but they're killing it.
Yeah.
On the main tour.
On the main tour, exactly. Rune, I mean, he has had such a tremendous fall that he was like, "Yo, I'm good."
Yeah.
I just beat Djokovic. I'm out.
Right. So that's incredible. But all in all, just kind of jumping to the final result for me, I was very, very happy for the American Nakashima, San Diegoan. And we've been talking about him for a little while. We know Zena Garrison loves him. We know he has that great backhand, but we're really starting to see his full game fill out now.
Yes. Agree, Bryce. I mean, he has played some really great tennis this year. He has definitely made himself a strong presence on the ATP tour. And yeah, I mean, he got in there and he worked it out. I mean, his first round match was really, really tough, and he had to go, 5 next gen sets, if you will. But after that, he finally got himself settled, and he rolled through really, really nicely. Semifinal against Jack Draper. We've been talking about Jack
Mm-hmm.
Draper. He's doing a lot of good things,
Yes.
representing Great Britain, and so definitely look out for that young man. Dominique Stricker, speaking of Switzerland, doing really nice
Yes.
things. He showed up really nice. So I mean, the next gen, they came with it, Bryce. I was very very impressed, and I know Lehechka. I seen him earlier in the year, and again was very impressed with his game. He didn't have that great of a kind of summer fall, but again, apparently he rebounded and was able to make the final, and at least in that's a great result. It really
It
is.
it was. Now, I wonder because we tend to see the men and the women's tour sometimes kind of copy each other. I
Yeah.
wonder if the women are looking at some point to have something similar to next gen.
Well, they need to. And I mean, quietly, there's a lot of things that I am hoping that the WTA tour decides to, just kind of pick up on from what the ATP is doing. And I mean, we dropped a certain hint into a certain someone's
Hmm.
ear, about a potential, as we've talked about on many occasions, an Althea Gibson Cup, similar
Right.
to the Rod Laver Cup. So
Right.
I think the WTA has a lot of great opportunities out there. It's who's going to step up and really really execute and push these things out there, because the men are just not even waiting. They getting after it. They like, look, if we got space for a cup, we gonna get it.
Right.
And they should.
And I know we heard Iga complaining about the lack of attendance for
Right.
the women's finals in Fort Worth.
Right. Right.
Now, you know, Texas has gotten a lot of tournaments in this season, right?
Right. Exactly.
you know, um, but I don't know. Is did we think the WTA finals were going to flourish in Fort Worth?
Well, I tell you this, Bryce. We have some people, of course, down in the Texas area,
Hmm.
and I just feel as though, based on their feedback, I just don't know that they did great marketing. And that's one of the things you have to do. You have to be able to market your tournament so people really know what's going on and that it's there, so that they can buy tickets and attend. I'm going to be honest with you, Bryce, and shame, call me shameful for this, but I didn't know it was in Texas until like late fall. I was like, where is the women's final at? Because I knew where the men's was, but
Right.
but I did not know where the ladies were, and that to me is a sign of bad marketing. You need to market. If people like us who are talking about tennis on the daily are
Right.
not informed and don't know where your year-ending tournament is, I'm sorry, there's something wrong in your marketing, and that's something that needs to be addressed, in my opinion.
And we have talked about this even with our experience with the WTA finals when it was here in LA and it
Mhm.
was at Staples Center. And
Right.
I mean, we only knew about it because of how closely we followed tennis.
Correct.
It was embarrassing what
Yeah.
the turnout was in LA
Exactly.
when when the WTA used to rock it in New York and Madison Square Gardens.
Correct. Correct. You got to put something behind it, bro. And you just can't, you just can't, assume that you're just going to get, attendance and everything. Because no, there's a lot of things, especially in a town like LA. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that are pulling people left and right. So if you don't make yourself known, then nobody's going to come. And I feel like that's what happened in Texas as well. So they've got to improve.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I felt like we went off on a tangent on
No, it's all good. We
that
do that. If y'all don't know yet, y'all must be new to Brothers on Tennis then.
one. Right, exactly.
Yes,
Oh my
sir.
goodness. So
But
shout
yeah,
out to Brandon Nakashima,
yes,
next gen champion, and let's hope we really see him, kind of roll that into some even better results on the tour for next year.
absolutely. Go on ahead, Brandon.
So you were saying after that, let's bounce over into the women, and
Yeah,
we had what the Billie Jean King Cup,
that's
formerly
right.
known as the Reitman Cup, formerly known as the Fed Cup.
It's had a lot of names, but Billie Jean King Cup is definitely appropriate. Most
Yes.
definitely. Yes.
So, we had all the usual, suspects there, minus Russia.
Right.
Now, was Russia banned?
Um, you know what, Bryce? I didn't get the complete story, but I am going to assume that they were. Because again, we've got Russian players out there, and the fact that they didn't play leads me to believe that they may have been banned.
And maybe because, you know, it was in the United Kingdom. And remember,
Hmm.
Wimbledon is the only other people we knew banning Russians.
That's right. Exactly.
So they weren't there, but you had Australia, Belgium, Canada, Czech Republic, Great Britain, Italy, Kazakhstan, Poland, Slovakia, Spain, Switzerland, and the good old US of A. And
Yes.
to talk about the US of A, our team was Coco Gauff, Madison Keys, Danielle Collins, Katie's sister girl McNally, Taylor Townsend, and the team led by Coach Kathy Rinaldi.
Yes. Yes. You know, Bryce, I feel like they played good, not great. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, it's the end of the season, and so you've
Yep.
got a lot of, I think a lot of people were, you know, I don't know if they were fully 100% like, boom, we are in this to win this. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Of course, they're in it to win it, but
Right.
again, when you come in at the end of the season, you're tired. You're dealing with a lot of things. I know that in particular. I still am looking at Coco Gauff and needing to see her kind of take some time to go off and just work the forehand, to just really put some dedicated time
Yes.
into working that forehand. And so to me, that is the priority. Being on the Billie Jean King Cup team is nice, but her priority is get that forehand right. You
Right.
know, and some of the other players, Danielle Collins has had a pretty up and down year as far as her health and fitness and her results. So I just feel like yes, they wanted to win, but were they playing with 100%? No, I don't believe they were mentally or physically. Um, but they did. I feel like they did pretty well. I was excited and just over the moon to see Makoko back together again,
Yes. Yes.
working them things. They played well together as they always do. So
Yeah.
that made me feel real happy about the team.
And and they were in a tough group because they were in the same group as the Czech Republic, and
Yes,
the Czech Republic's women's team is always popping.
always,
So
always.
that's who they came in second place to. But taking it to the semifinals, I mean, you ended up having Switzerland against the Czech Republic, and then
Yeah,
Great Britain versus Australia. Now, it was a surprise for me that Great Britain made it to the semis, but I guess when
yeah.
you're the host country,
Yeah, yeah.
you got a little something behind you right
Little
there.
fire, exactly. Yep, yep.
So, but Australia was like, we got experience putting out fires, and so they stopped Great Britain in the semis 2-1, and Switzerland rolled through the Czech Republic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were playing inspired, really, really were. And yeah, they got to the final
Hmm.
against Australia, and they were like, "Hey, sorry, ladies, we feel good about our tennis. We've done this before. We showed out in the Olympics. We love team
Yep,
sports, and we gonna do it again. And here's your 2-0."
exactly. If Roger can't win this year, we'll win for him.
Exactly.
So shout out to Belinda Bencic for, like you said, in the Olympics she snagged gold and then what silver in the doubles,
Believe so. Yeah.
and then uh Goyevich played really well
Hmm.
throughout the week, and then they bring in Teichman at
There you
the end,
go.
and
There you
Teichman
go.
was like, "This ain't new for me."
This is not new, folks. Sorry.
And just as a reminder, Switzerland was in the finals of this event last year.
That's right.
So when it comes to the women's team, Switzerland really comes through on the team events.
Absolutely. Could not agree more.
So shout out Switzerland, congratulations, and we gonna keep it moving.
There you go.
Um, so next we are going to take it to the All American Cup.
Yeah,
The
man.
brand new event by our guy Nick Monroe down
Yes.
in San Antonio, Texas.
That's right. That's right. First year event, having some fun. I know that Nick got thrown for a couple of loops because one
Yes.
of course, the star players for the West, Taylor Fritz, um, actually got pulled into the ATP Finals and showed out. But we'll talk about that in a few. So
Right.
there was a little shuffling that had to go. Everybody shuffling, and but hey, they still had a really tremendous and successful event, I would say.
Right, and Team East had a couple of substitutions as well because
Right.
they lost J.J. Watt. Listen to me, J.J. Watt. Football season, football season. They lost J.J. Wolf. Excuse me,
Yes.
my 513 Cincinnati guy, to injury, and then Tiafo
Yeah.
was out until he showed up on the last day and said, "Look like y'all need some help." Um, but we had Team Scrappy versus Team Showtime.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
was talking big noise in the beginning because I thought Team Showtime was just going to come through and just roll all over Team Scrappy. And I see why they're named Team Scrappy now.
Yeah, they scrap, man. That's what we all about, man. We scrappy. We get in there, and you know what? If it requires pair pulling, then that's what we're gonna do.
So crazy.
I know, right?
So, the event very much like the Labor Cup, you have matches that are, they increase in value and point value every day.
Yes.
And at the end of day one, it was 2-2. And
Mhm.
then after day two, it was what, 6-6.
Correct.
And then we get to day three, and uh Jerome
Yeah.
steps out there on Isner with the full bakery order. I mean, he was like, "John, you tall, you look malnourished. We're gonna get you this whole biscuit and this breadstick and get you right."
Yes. Yes. Because you look hungry, sir, and we don't want anybody hungry out on these courts.
Right. Oh, what a
Crazy, man.
beat down.
Yeah, I was not expecting that result from Giron versus Isner. And mind you, Isner has not played a lot of tennis lately. So, it that, I don't know if that weighed into it or not, but at the same time, I guess that I have to talk to, Coach Bob and say, well, Coach Bob, if you know he ain't played a lot,
Mm,
you sure you want to put him in on day three when it's worth 3 points? But anyway,
4 points.
oh yeah, that's right, 4 points. Excuse
Yeah.
me. So that was a little bit interesting, but shout out to Giron for again scrappy. He got out there and scrapped.
And Isner was pulling that whole thing we've seen from some of our other favorite players, the whole like no flinching, like wouldn't even flinch towards the shot, was like, yeah, you go on somewhere with that.
He's like, mm.
And I think Tiafo saw that from the bench and was like, "Coach, put me in, put me in,
Put
put
me
me in."
in.
And this, my friend Isaac, was the bigger shock to me.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
When I saw that Tiafo was going to play doubles with Jack Sock, wait a minute, they took out Federer and Nadal at the
Thank
Labor
you.
Cup, right?
Count it. Count it.
So I'm thinking against, and we like Mackie McDonald and we like Stevie Johnson, but you
Mhm.
know, we figure that they'll be a little bit easier than Nadal and Federer,
Right.
right?
A little bit.
Shoot.
Team Scrappy.
There you go. There you go.
That's all we can say, Bryce, is Team Scrappy because I too was with you. As much as I love Mackie and Stevie Johnson, I was like, ooh, Jack Sock and Tiafa gonna put them things on them. And I was
Yep.
like, okay, we're gonna go to that third and that third one. So I was already anticipating it. And yeah, Mackie and Stevie was like, whoa, 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 slow your roll, sir. That's why we call Team Scrappy. And we not giving it up. And they got into that tiebreaker and just barely clawed it out. Amazing result, man.
Well, and I think McDonald didn't want to play that third singles match because he saw what Kudla did to Jerome the day before,
Right?
and he said, "Uh-oh,
He's like, I don't want none of that.
I want none of that."
We're like, he's scrappy undercover, so we are. We don't need any of that. No,
No.
sir.
But like you said, Isaac, first year event in San
Yes.
Antonio, wonderful job done by our friend Nick Monroe.
Agree.
And even though they were missing some, probably higher marquee names
Hmm.
from the American men's tour,
Yeah.
um, you know, it seemed like they were all very supportive of the event.
Exactly.
And so I would I wouldn't be surprised if next year there are much stronger lineups.
Yeah. I agree with you completely.
Now, the one thing I will kind of warn against is it's a tricky time to have a tournament though, because it's at the end of the
Mhm.
season we already know is long.
Right.
It's the high risk for injuries. If people are either in next gen or in the ATP finals,
Mhm.
they're gonna probably bow out, in lieu
Right.
of that. So it's gonna probably always have its challenges like that if it stays during this time of the year. But well done for the first year.
I completely agree with you, bro. I mean, well done. A lot of things that they had to put together, and they were able to do it. So I think that Nick Monroe, all of the folks that you've worked with, great job, great job.
Right. And they even pulled out Ryan Harrison. I thought he had retired.
I did as well. I saw him and I was like, oh, okay.
you know, okay. And,
Okay.
and you know what? And even though he got stolen on both days that he played, he actually did not look that bad,
Right.
especially against the match against Stevie Johnson.
Right. Yeah. No, agree. Agree. Yeah. He just kind of needed to find a rhythm, I believe. But yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll see if he's trying to do something in 2023. We'll see.
Right, right. So Isaac, let's go ahead and wrap it up with the big one.
Yes, yes. Let's talk about it. The ATP Finals. Man, I tell you what, Bryce. That no, it was a good tournament. and but what's interesting, and I don't know if you, well, I'll say it, you'll laugh, but I don't know if you will or not. For me, as weird as this sounds, I was honestly more into the doubles than I was
Doubles.
into the
I knew you were
singles.
going to say that. I knew you were going to say
Them
that.
doubles was fire, y'all. Woo, them doubles was fire. I
Yes.
loved all the team. Now, okay, I'm gonna tell you this though, and shame on me or shame on I don't know who you want to say shame on, but shame on somebody who was not completely on top of. Please tell me where what's the boy name Helio Vara and Glasspool. Where the hell they come from? I have not seen them in the. I knew Air Team, Bryce. Not every team. I knew Air
Air
Team.
team.
But them, I was like, who the hell are these guys? I did
I'm,
not know Glasspool and Helio Vera. I was sitting there looking like, where y'all been? And
that's
and
like,
they was a 16.
like I told you that. What's her name? CJ Ayamama. Like, I'm trying to tell you, and they were up there like
Dude,
she was in the top, and I was like, I would not know her if she walked past me.
I would not know, right?
But yeah, you're right. I'm glad you said that name because I didn't even know that Helio Vara. Yeah,
Heliobara, and they made the semis and was trying to
right.
give our boys Mektic and Pavic some drama in the semis. They was like, y'all,
Yes.
we not trying to lose. I was like, fellas, y'all might be coming up on my radar. I like y'all. I like the feistiness.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
No,
But
that was
dude,
really good. And you know what? I mean, I knew going into the tournament, but I
hmm
didn't know, much before the tournament
right.
that Kokonakis and Kyrgios had qualified.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it was interesting seeing Kyrgios there in the doubles, and not in the
Right.
singles.
Right.
Um, but
But can I
yeah,
tell you, was that match that Kokonakis and Kyrgios played against Pavic, Mate Pavic, and Mektic, that was fire because them two camps do not like each other.
right, right.
And I tell you what, they were being kind of polite at the beginning, but at the end, they was throwing some shots at one another. Kyrgios tried to slam a forehand at Pavic.
Yeah.
It was kind of hood, but you know what? Pavic and Mektic really they pulled it out, and I thought it was a fantastic match. And honestly, it came down to a couple of points, and I hate to you hate to kind of point that finger, but honestly, it was Kokonakis. He made a
Yeah.
double fault in the first set tie break that really changed the course and allowed Mektic and Pavic to win. And there was something else in the I can't remember what it was, but there was an error that he had made in the second set, and I was just like, bruh, you can't be making those types of errors against them because they are that good.
Right. They really are. And
Yeah.
and honestly, if you even jump into the finals,
Yes.
to me, those, I mean, arguably are the top two teams, right?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so,
No disrespect to Kulhoff and Skupski because they are number one in the world.
mhm.
And, kudos to them for getting there. But if I were to say who are the top two teams in the world, they were the two that made the finals for sure.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And, and honestly, Salisbury and Ram have been the top team this year.
They have. They have. Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
so you're right. I knew you were going to say that. The doubles was absolutely popping this year. So shout out to really both of those teams, but
Yes.
specifically Ram and Salisbury,
Mhm.
capping off a great year going undefeated
Yeah.
in the year-ending championships.
That's right. That's right, man. It was a great job. Great work, fellas.
So the singles.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna tell you what. If your wife had a baby in the last 3 months,
Hmm.
your game ain't popping right now.
Yeah, go and stay home. Go and stay
Right.
home. It's
Yeah.
all right. It's all
Right.
right.
Because Nadal, I don't know whether it's the foot or whether it's the old age or whether it's the baby. But we're gonna put it on the baby because that way I can justify why Daniil Medvedev took 3 L's.
Whoa, my goodness.
And all three, weren't they all 3-set tiebreakers?
I believe so. Yeah, I mean the dude was scrapping, but unfortunately he just could not get over that hurdle. It was crazy.
And
But
you,
you know what? At the same time, Bryce, as crazy as it sounds though, I think if you're gonna lose, that's at least how you want to lose. Because you can at least say, you know what, this was a toss up. I could have very easily gone 3-0
3 and
had
0.
I yeah. So going into his offseason, he has nothing to hang his head on. It's not like he got blown out or anything crazy like that. He lost in Thursday tiebreaker. So to me, Medvedev is just fine.
Now I was surprised he lost to Rublev though, because
Yeah.
Rublev been his pigeon. Well, all the Russians have been his pigeons.
Right, right. I think it was because it was the first match. Had that been the second match or third match, I think he would have won that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I really do. I really think that I just think positioning honestly worked weird for a lot of people. I feel like that was the case for the Medvedev Rublev match. I feel like with Nadal, had Nadal started out with playing Casper Ruud, I think he would
Mm-hmm.
have done better because he likes Casper's game. Casper's shot. No, I'm being funny, but I'm being serious. Casper's
Right.
game fits really nicely into Nadal's. He likes that spin and he can return with a lot of that spin. So Casper's game doesn't worry Nadal much. And I feel like if Nadal had played him first versus playing a Fritz, who Fritz always be giving Nadal drama, I think he would have done a lot better in the tournament itself. I really do.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But over in that group, I mean, Felix was probably the hottest one coming in
Yes. Yes.
to, and he may just be tired now. He was like, it's hard swinging
It's
out on y'all like that for all these weeks in a row. I'm tired. My arm is tired.
My arm is tired. My brain's a little foggy. I just need to kind of get home, reset, and enjoy, the fruits of my labor from this fall. Because Felix has shown up. He showed up and he showed out this year.
Yes.
And he's won 4 titles, 3 of which were in a row. Come on now.
Yes.
Come on
That's
now.
awesome.
Yeah.
And you got to give much love to Taylor Fritz. You talking about somebody who made the most of getting in because he got in on the
Right?
humble
On the
because
humble.
Alcaraz was injured and couldn't play.
Exactly. And I'm going to have to really start giving Taylor Fritz a bit more credit because sometimes when I look at him, he's just kind of like that, kind of, you know what I mean? He just,
Well, he
but,
is. Yeah.
but that, yeah, it's kind of like that's his overall. But I tell you what, when he gets on the court, though, Taylor Fritz
Yes.
is fire. Taylor
Yes.
Fritz is fire. He is competitive. He ain't trying to play around with you. He's like, listen, if you better watch out, you want to get out here with me. And it's
Right.
impressive. It's really impressive.
And he showed himself to, you know, well. I mean, he
Yeah,
really
yeah.
did well against Djokovic in the finals, you
I felt
know?
I felt he did. I felt like, going two tie breaks, it's not bad. I feel like Djokovic in that semifinal, it just, it was a struggle. You know what I mean?
Right.
He was having his struggles, but like Djokovic, like him or dislike him, he is a part of the big three, and he is a champion, and he knows how to pull from those reserves, and he knows how to get it done, and he showed his mettle in this tournament, Bryce. It was, I have to say, it was impressive because I didn't think he was. I thought he was done after that Medvedev match because when they showed him on the changeover and the hand was shaking, I was like, listen, he done. And he was like, "No,
Oh,
I still got some. I still got some."
you know what? I was giving him a little side eye because I think there's a little I think there's a little theater going on out there
There
personally.
could be, there could
You
be,
know,
you know.
wait a minute. You remember how Serena used to be? I'm just putting that out there. I
Well,
think it's a
hell,
little
guy on
theater.
Feast even admitted to it. He was like, "Yeah, sometimes I play that role because it's
Yeah.
mental, and that's the part of the game. Some part of it is mental, other parts are physical. So
Right. Well, he probably hyped up knowing he's going to be able to return to the Australian Open this year. So
exactly,
he's
exactly.
he's like, y'all, I'm about to show y'all what it's going to be like this year.
But I tell you what, he better make sure he puts in that work in the offseason because you got folks like Taylor, you got folks like Felix, you got folks like Medvedev. They not scared of him. They not.
No.
I really honestly believe they are not scared of him. And if you
Uh-uh.
get that type of a draw, I think there could potentially be an upset. I really do. I'm already gonna put that out there. If he gets the wrong draw, he is not going to be happy. Yeah,
Right. Exactly. Well,
yeah.
at least he'll have the comfort of knowing he don't have to have no abs to win. So I mean, he can work on the other parts of his body, make sure he's ready to
Exactly.
go.
He don't need them stomach muscles. It's all
No, he's good.
good. He's
Rip
proven that
guts.
he can win it without it. So there you go.
So anyway, but shout out to you, Novak. Congratulations on
Yes.
tying Roger Federer for 6 year-end championships.
There you go.
Um, and wait a minute, I just want to also give a shout out to Casper Ruud. For those of y'all who ain't paying
Yes.
attention, he finished the year ranked number 3, made it to 2 major finals, lost to
Hmm.
Daddy Nadal and Baby Nadal, and and made it to the finals of the year-end championship.
Yeah, yeah. He's close, man. He's very close to getting that Grand Slam title. Casper's doing big things, man. So yeah, watch out for him in 2023. That's for sure.
Right. And as we're talking about people to watch out for,
Hmm.
because we are brothers on tennis.
Come on now.
Um, Ben Shelton, y'all.
Come on.
Okay, so just like we had Felix win 3 titles in a row
Hmm.
on the main tour,
Right.
Blake won 3 titles in a row on the Challenger circuit to end the year. He's
Come
now
on.
ranked within the top 100. And if
Crazy.
I'm not mistaken, I think he beat Chris Eubanks for the first 2.
Yeah, yeah, he did. Absolutely. And that's not a
So
walkover. That's not easy.
no, so what Public Enemy said? Brothers try to work it out. I mean, I'm really excited to see what Ben Shelton is going to do next year.
I completely agree. I think he's going to definitely make himself a strong presence on the tour next year. And again, you saw how many Americans we have like in the top like 65. I
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly what happened, Bryce, because like about 2 years ago, you and I were like, the guys need to step it up because the ladies
Yep.
are the ladies are getting all the shine and they
Yep.
doing big things. And apparently they listened to our podcast because they was like, all right, You want to see what we can do, we about to do it. And
Right.
all of them, every single one of the American males is stepping their game up, man. It's incredible to see. It's phenomenal. I am so very happy.
It is really good, and something definitely to look forward to in 2023. So,
Absolutely.
well, my friend, I think we have to get ready and get out of here and get on IG Live for our after show, right?
I think so. I think so. And folks, this will be our final podcast recording for 2022. So hopefully you've enjoyed the recordings that we have submitted, and we'll be back with you stronger than ever, of course, in 2023.
And we're going to start off January with the BOT Awards.
Got to do it.
And you never want to miss that because you spicy.
With cayenne, yes.
Absolutely. So we're going to get out of here and jump over to IG Live. But everyone, have a wonderful holiday season. And we will be back at it starting January 1st. So on behalf of the podcast, this has been your boy Bryce.
And this is your boy Isaac.
And we are Brothers on Tennis. Everyone, take care.